Hello, 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 Sagittarius. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? New arrangement. We'll see how it goes. Not sure. Yes, the window's in the back. I have a beautiful tree that is just right outside there. I wish you guys could see it. But it's a big, huge old pine tree. I love it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to move this around to help my daughter have some space in here. So we'll see. Tell me what you think. Put it in your comments. I would love to hear it. Definitely love to hear that in the comments. If you like it the old way or the new way, or if you're brand new, what do you think? All right. So we're going to be starting real quick here. So we're doing the 16th through the 21st of August. We have a full moon. I think it's on the 22nd, actually. It's either on the 21st or the 22nd. And I've done a little bit of research on it already. It's a sturgeon moon, but we'll go ahead and have a full moon reading, and we'll have you check in on that. A lot of energies going on out there with the planets, as usual. However, there's a lot of conflict right now. It's between Uranus and Saturn, and just a bunch of things going on, especially with this new moon. So if you feel a little conflicted, don't worry. It is partly the moon and the planets, the way that things are going. So a lot of frustration going on out there, a lot of struggles, a lot of earth versus spirit. So there is a spiritual war. So there is a video down there that I did last week. Divine asked me to sort of put it out there. I was like, okay, whatever. So I did that, and it's not a battle. It's wars. This is war. You got battles inside a war. So there's lots and lots of battles going on. All right, so we're going to get started here. So I am going to do the Divine's card with the new deck. I am learning it slowly but surely, and then I'm right now picking the current energies and future energies. For those that don't know, I do mix astrology and numerology, so the future energy is astrology. So let's see what he's got going for your future energies here. Now, it's really interesting because you'll find that the oracles for the divine and the astrology are almost the same, or they actually give you a little idea of what you should be doing. Okay, the divine's card is for your troubles, your struggles, whatever you're trying to get through. Definitely. Okay, so our first card is the divine's card, bearing fruit. It is the number 3, something that we need to acknowledge. Interesting. When I look at these, sometimes they have me look at something, but there is a face in the tree. I don't know if you can see it. A beautiful picture, bearing fruit. And there is something in the tree on the very top. There's butterflies, transformation. I use the tree in one of my series in Get Balanced 2020. We talk about the roots, and then the trunk of the tree, and then the fruit of the tree, and the whole process of your mind process and how all that works, and your core foundation being the roots and the things that you're doing in life in the trunk, and how you're thinking and all that kind of stuff. And then when you get your roots, or when you get your fruit, and when that comes, and what happens to the life of the tree if you don't, kind of a thing. So that's a whole series in Get Balanced 2020 if you're interested in learning transforming your mindset. That is one. But let's go ahead and read this. Oops, what number is it? Oh, it's the number 3. So I look up number 3 rather than the actual number. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what that is. So I have not had this one, so I don't know, and I haven't researched this one yet. So, bearing fruit. If your life were a tree, what fruit would it bear? Envision the results of the efforts that you put into achieving your dreams and desires into your partnership with the divine. Can you see the way that you think, feel, and believe reflected in the material world? There is always a correlation between what you see, what you expect to see, and what intended consciously, and what you project unconsciously. Everything is intrinsically connected. Magic flows through you from the unseen world into the world you perceive, which is first dimension versus second dimension kind of a thing. So moving from the realm of non-ordinary reality to ordinary reality, you birth ideas and thoughts into form and bring your most cherished desires to fruition. Not all ideas will bear fruit, sweet fruit. Sometimes you will reap a sour and bitter harvest based on your sense of your personal narrative and your assumptions about others. You are in a powerful, fertile season of your life when you particularly good when you're particularly good at making things happen with very little effort. Pay close attention to what you're manifesting now. So basically, this is a time, and we're also in the waxing moon, so that is a time where we are bringing in abundance. So that is something that we really need to think about. We were just talking with, who did I just do? Aries. And we were talking about looking in the mirrors, what we want to bear, what kind of fruit we want to bear. We want love, we must be love. We have to look in the mirror. If we want compassion, we must give compassion. If we want respect, we must give respect. Okay, so that's number 3. This is something that really we do need to acknowledge forward. We have the number 9, and we have a sad embrace. So maybe realizing for somebody, it could be a sad embrace, could be a loss, but this I think is a sad embrace that we're not being the person that we really should be being. And that's a number 9, which needs to come out in the forefront. Then we have our future energy, which is, I believe, the planets and what they're trying to tell us here. And we're being stuck in the mud. Okay, we're stuck. We don't know or why. Some people don't know why they're not getting fruit from their tree, or maybe the fruit is just sour and not very good. And you're sort of stuck in your thought process, stuck in the way that you're doing things, that kind of a thing. But the number 6 is definitely about improving yourself. This is about learning about yourself and how to get to the higher self. What can I do to get to my higher self? What can I do to get unstuck? What can I do because I don't know how to allow my tree to bear sweet fruit rather than sour fruit? Unless you like sour, and then now your tree's doing sweet fruit, but you want sour fruit. However, there is definitely, you are the master of your way your tree turns out. That's you. The tree is you. All right. So you are the master of your tree. And it is all dependent on how you want to turn it out. Now, the sad embrace in the center, this number 9, is that you're being stuck. And what that means to me is that somebody is not letting go. Somebody's not letting go of something that has either happened to them or the past. Okay. So I'm not quite sure which one that is. However, we both have to look at that and see what it is. So what is it? Because when you're stuck in the mud, your tree can't grow. Because mud is too much wet. It doesn't do anything. Nothing can grow in the mud. Well, rice can, but most times not. And it will keep you stuck. All right, so let's see what we've got going here. Oh, yes. Somebody was in a relationship. Somebody had an ego. Somebody left. So now they're dealing with that. Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords, and then we have the 5 of Swords. Okay, so the Knight of Swords and the 5 of Swords is all about, and he's running away. So it's like a quick thing that somebody's gotten an argument, the ego got in the way, the pride got in the way, made the whole relationship unstable. So I don't know who this is. So this is about relationships. Okay, so the communication definitely was not there, but I have a funny feeling that there was a third party somewhere in the middle of this, because this is your middle card. Somebody who maybe was a little bit more financially stable. The grass looked greener on the other side of the fence. And unfortunately, truth hit you in the face and you got hurt. That, sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. Okay. We always think that the grass is greener. Oh, somebody's better. Somebody's looks better. Oh, yeah, we have an opportunity. You know, love is a choice. You can choose to love somebody. You can choose not to. You can choose to fall in love. You can choose to fall out of love. You don't have to. This is a choice. This is something. This is free will. This is what you can do. Here's your challenge card, the world. You don't even realize what you had. Okay? You might have been given the world, or maybe this was coming to you. Because if this was manifested into a relationship, then it wasn't even supposed to be there, but it got manifested and you thought it was going to be everything, and it wasn't. All right. Oops. All right, let's see what else we've got going here for this relationship. This is pretty basic, pretty easy. So the fruit that was bared is sort of like karma coming back. Yeah. Yeah. We have the Ace of Swords being the truth, something of truth coming to light. The dark will come to light. What is it that you want to bear? What is it that you need in your relationships that you need to bear? Truth. I always talk to you guys about absolute truth. Come and have absolute truth. And if somebody cannot give you absolute truth, you should not be with them. If you have to wonder if they're really telling the truth, you should not be with them. Because whatever is happening right now, this is actually rocking your world. And it's because somebody is so prideful that they're not going to admit, even though they were wrong, they're not going to admit they're wrong. And that will keep you stuck. Because then your emotions get involved, your heart gets involved, and then you get hurt because you wasted time. Well, you don't waste time. You learned a lesson with this one that definitely you acknowledge the pain, and it's like, oh man, I should have never went here, and I should have never went there. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have really trusted him, that kind of a thing. But the thing is, this was something you probably knew in your heart because, again, you are the tree. The tree is what kind of fruit are you trying to bear? Because you probably had very, very different things and red flags went up, but you just ignored them. And now you're stuck. So your future energy is to get unstuck. Your future energy is to become unstuck. And you have to, this is your challenge card. You have to realize that you have the world, but you've got to be careful because not everybody has your best interest. So when you want to want something, if you want love, you've got to be the love. If you want respect, you've got to be the respect. If you want truth and honesty, you've got to be honest. You've got to be absolute truth. If you're not going to get absolute truth, if you can't be absolute truth. Ace of Swords, guys. That's an offering. And maybe if there is somebody that really does love and care for each other, you got to go back there and be bloody truthful, honest with each other. Because somebody definitely isn't going to be sleeping or resting or anything with all this. Boy, this human pride, this earthly pride gets in the way. Definitely gets in the way. And this is the thing. If it was earthly pride and if there was a third party in this, what fruit are you going to bear? That's pain. If you got, and if you're lying and deceitful, there's swords all over the place in this reading. All over the place. So you got to be looking at the truth. And you've got some acknowledgement because you've got to acknowledge the pain that has gone through. If to get back to absolute truth, can a relationship that has been cheated on, can it come back? Yes, it can. The thing is, you've got to be absolute truth. You've got to be honest with each other. From that day forward, you have to be bloody honest because what you give off, what fruit you have, whether it's bitter fruit, you want to turn it sweet, you got to have truth. Because once that tree bears fruit, that's the kind of fruit it's going to be. Now, can that tree change? Yeah, if you got sour apples on your tree and they were supposed to be sweet, then you got to go back and do some research, find out the truth. But for a tree, you got to do some research. Why did my apples turn out sour? Oh, they didn't get the right food. Oh, they didn't get enough water. Oh, I didn't have another apple tree to pollinate with it. You got to do that. Same with a relationship. You got to go back and do the work, and the work is to be truth and to communicate. Because your current energy is sad embrace. I don't know whose relationship this is, or going to be, or friendship, or whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Threes, acknowledge, 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 acknowledge. Acknowledge the pain, but don't stay stuck there. Your future energy says don't stay stuck there. You have the world. Learn the lesson, whatever it is. And if it's not meant to be, let it go, move on. If it is meant to be and you're supposed to be, and it's a divine intervention, and the divine is saying this is a test to see if you guys are going to work through this, then there is offerings. Then you've got to be able to be honest with each other and go through that door. All right. All right. Let's see if anything else. I could be beating up a dead horse if I want to go this, but it is between lovers, definitely, or two people that love each other. Now it could be family members because you have two people that love each other, right? King of Cups, another king. Another authority. This is about the matters of the heart. This is about healing. This is about getting over the sadness. This is about saying, you know what? Yeah, it hurt. Let me grieve for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to pull my bootstraps up, put my big panties on, and I'm going to keep moving forward. Because that tree needs to not be sour. That tree needs to grow and be sweet, and you've got to figure out what it is, what that lesson was, and not to do it again, or not be manipulated, or whatever it is, because this pride usually will sabotage and bring a relationship down. Because pride is human, and divine does not like pride, because then he has no room to come in. If he has no room to come in, he cannot help. All right. All right. Let's see what else divine has. So we have the Page of Wands, more communication, and Five of Wands again. So standing up, I'm going to end this because I'm just going to keep beating up a dead horse. So it's standing up for what is right, what is truth, what is been hurt, acknowledging what is hurt. Okay? Acknowledging what is hurt, but then you really have to bring truth into it. And whoever has a huge ego out there, I don't know who that is, that it needs to be humbled, or it's actually not going to allow anything, because they're running away. This is what's causing pride, and ego is what's causing this kerfuffle. And the thing is, this pride and ego could be having a third party in it. I don't know who that's for. But there is, whoever this is needs to stand up for their integrity, their high integrity, high morals, high values. And if it doesn't work out, then you need to just keep moving forward. Get out of the mud. Don't wallow in the past of what has happened. Now it's time to get going and keep moving forward for yourself. Look in the mirror. Were you a participant of this, though? You have to look in the mirror and say, did I have any actions in this for this causing to happen? Did I do everything in my power? And when you say that, oh yeah, I did everything, you better be talking to your subconscious, because that's what this is. The subconscious is your roots of the tree. Your consciousness is the truth. And you have to be not lying to yourself, because deep down your subconscious knows that you probably are lying if you are lying. And that is going to bubble up. And that you can't walk in absolute truth, and you can't fix anything. Can't fix anything if you don't want to walk in absolute truth. You can keep hiding and band-aiding and hiding and band-aiding and hiding and band-aiding, but you're never going to fix it. And you can fix it. You can fix it. You definitely can fix it, but the first step is to walk in absolute truth. And that will, when you start walking in absolute, and own it and be responsible and tell them, yep, I screwed up. I made a mistake. How do I fix it? How do I move on? How do I prove that it was an accident? Well, nothing's really an accident. It's by choice. It was a mistake. Then you have to be the other one to say that the sour fruit needs to turn sweet, and you can have compassion and understanding or not. So that's up to you. All right, Sagittarians, this has been your reading. I hope that you guys have a great, great week. There will be a full moon reading. So please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And I don't know when I'm going to do the full moon reading. So please subscribe and hit the bell. And then you will know when I'm on. And then when I do the full moon reading, for those that are brand new, I do astrology first. So you can learn what's going on with the planets and the moon and how it's going to relate to you and what's going on with you. And then I go into a reading. All right. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Be good, be safe, and try to stay cool in all this heat. We're having 100-degree weathers here, so we have a heat wave for the next 3 days. So try to stay cool. Love you. Don't forget to walk in absolute truth and love.